Do you know the Muffin Man? Do you know the Muffin Man? I said, do you know the Muffin Man? I said, do you know the Muffin Man? Do you know the Muffin Man who lives on Drury Lane? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another exciting episode of You've Already Peaked Gaming Podcast featuring your host, Share, and also featuring me, Sonny Bono. Watch out for that tree.
What's up, man?
Sonny was the tree, right?
Sonny was the tree. It's called
Sonny was the tree.
Called pulling a Bono.
Tahoe's claim to fame.
The
Tahoe,
claim,
right?
yeah, it was Tahoe.
Yeah.
The claim to fame.
Yeah. You're welcome, world.
I have done a Bono.
You bonoed?
I bonoed. I've wrapped myself around a tree coming down the mountain.
Ooh, I've hit a branch. I can't imagine a full Bono.
I came off a like a 25-foot tabletop, and it was when Sugar Bowl had their park next to the side of the tree line. So if you came down Sugar Bowl, the park, like there was like a 45-foot rail, two boxes, and then a tabletop, and then it cut down to the left past where the half pipe was, and then it went down back up to the slope. And I remember coming off the side of the 25-foot tabletop, and I was like, I'm gonna pull through. And I remember going through and then looking through my legs to see where I was going, and I was like, that looks like the fucking trees. And then I just went, ah! I just snapped, I just full on scorpioned myself around a tree, and I was out. I don't remember anything else. I remember hitting the tree, and then I remember waking up like in the back of the paramedic ambulance that was at the like where the lodge area was, that they were going to take you out to like Reno. And they were like, hey man, everything's chill. And I was like, I don't have the money for this. And like, I just remember like running out of the ambulance, like, no, chill. I was like, I'm fine. And I just went and sat in the lodge with like just the worst headache of my life for like 5 hours. It was the worst. I think that was the beginning. That was the beginning of my back problems.
Yeah. It sounds like it.
Yeah.
I don't know why my fucking back hurts.
I remember that was the last time that I went like off a big tabletop like that. If the tabletop wasn't directly into nothing, you know what I mean? If there was just nothing in front of it, I was like, I wasn't touching another tabletop, because that was just the scariest thing ever.
Yeah. The last time I went snowboarding was also the last time I was like, I'm never doing a tabletop again. I was a little fuckered up, you know. You're drinking,
sure,
and I don't know why. I'm not even a good snowboarder. Like I can do like some jumps, like kind of like touch the board. I'm not getting like a full grab, but I can do like a 360 might be pushing it, but a 180, yeah, I could do that. And for whatever reason, that little liquid courage was like, you could backflip. No, couldn't. I maybe got like 2/3 of a rotation. So like when I'm coming back, like my feet are like this, and just I remember like, oh no, like I know what I did wrong. Like untucked, and like all your momentum's gone.
Yeah.
Just
go
like and just like my tippy toes hit first, and the rest of my body just went what? Just slapped to the ground, and then it's weird because like I woke up, but I was still just sliding down the hill, just fucking lifeless body. Like, what the fuck? And same thing, mountain rescue. You're gonna be okay, bud. But it was like this. It was like the same thing. I don't have the money for this. Like, that's what I thought. Like the rest of the day, everybody else went up, and I just sat at the lodge. Was like, hey, what if I got seriously hurt? Like, I lose my apartment. I lose like I don't have any money if I am out of work.
It's funny because like I learned to snowboard from my older cousin. And so Jeff would take me up to the mountain all the time and be like, you know, we're gonna go boarding or whatever. He's the one who taught me how to just stand up and do it. Never took a lesson in my life, just rode with my cousin. It was fucking dope. It was so sick. But like the second time I went with my cousin, I had to have been a little kid, man. I couldn't have been older than like, I don't know, 11, 12 years old at tops. And he was like, okay, we're going to go ride the park. And I was like, yeah, let's ride the park. I remember the first thing I got in the park, he's like, if you want to play on the park, like, just remember, like, you're going to fall and you're going to hurt yourself. You just got to make sure you're aware. First time I went up for a rail, he was like, okay, you're just going to come up the rail and just pop on top of it, just kind of slide a little bit and then just slide off. Didn't pop up, caught the board underneath the rail, fell into it, slammed my shins against the rail. Fucking fell over. He's like, it's okay, no big deal. And then we were going down the hill and he was like,
big deal.
Yeah, he's like, there's a tabletop in front of you. It was like a little 15 tenner.
The icy steel. It's no big deal.
And he's like, when you kick off this, you want a little bit of speed. But he didn't, like, I didn't know what a little bit and a lot of bit of speed was. I've been boarding for like maybe a month at that point. Like, you don't know.
A real fine line.
Yeah, it really is. And there's a reason why you cut
you launch or you go nowhere.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like,
oh, you overshot it.
I fucking went,
just the
dude.
fucking, you're watching the end of it. You're doing the fucking arms flapping.
I just remember popping. And he's like, don't do anything. Just go up and then over and then just try and land on your feet. He's like, it's like jumping. You're going to go up a thing and just jump. And I remember jumping, and then it was like a fucking Disney movie, man. There's birds in the airs with me. I was just like,
just flying past all the monuments.
Sexy sax, dude, with me. I went so fucking far. I hit the ground, dude. The board came off. I had a boot fly in the air. Like, a glove was missing. My goggles were filled with snow. I remember sitting up and this girl came down, was like, holy shit, are you okay? I was like, I don't know where I am. And my cousin came down, I was like, dude, that was fucking sick. You went so far. And she's like, oh my God, have you ever hit a table before? And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. My cousin's like, that's the first time he's ever touched it. And she's like, he went like an extra 20 feet. And he's like, yeah. He's like, you ready to do that again? I was like, I guess so. You know, because I wasn't going to get shown.
Like 11, 12 years old.
Yeah.
You also like, you've got that perfect build where it's just speed. You got enough to keep you to the ground, but not enough to like generate friction to really stop.
Exactly right. Yeah.
You're a bullet.
I remember we got back up on the lift and went back up, and he's like, okay. He's like, I know you might be a little scared, but we're gonna try something a little scarier. And I was like, okay, let's just do it. He took me to the half pipe, and he's like, this is gonna be a little bit easier because you don't have to worry about getting off of things or like trying to jump on top of it. You're gonna cut and ride the pipe. And for anybody that's never snowboarded before, a snowboard half pipe is actually huge. Fucking intimidatingly big. It's intimidatingly big.
Well, to get any like, because like you'll start like slowing down because you're just cutting.
Yeah.
So to make up for that, like it is.
They're
like fucking 15-foot sides.
Yeah, they go and like when you're in the pipe, like when you ride up to a pipe, like you can see it, right? And you're like, it's a half pipe, whatever. You cut up to the top and you do your first drop in, and like when you cut up to the top and drop in, you're like all of a sudden you're just dropping straight down like 20 feet.
It's like two black diamonds just meet in the middle.
And then you're just like, it's like fucking 300 feet. It's like a football field.
Yeah.
Of just 20-foot walls the whole way down. And you're just supposed to cut up and down these things.
And you better fucking move because there's some serious people that fuck around on half pipes.
Holy shit. Which is
no just fucking like, I'm just going to slide my way out of this one.
And that was a whole thing. I got up to the top and like my cousin's like, dude, people aren't going to wait for you. So you got to move before people can catch up. Which was also not necessarily true because a bunch of the dudes that saw me go in first, they're like, "It's your first time." I was like, "Oh, it's my first time," and they're like, "Oh, you're good, bud." And they like made sure people waited for me to cut through.
Once again, you're young enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Nowadays, you'll get fucking pushed over.
Yeah, but people be like, "Get the fuck out of the pipe." And I remember cutting the first two, and then I could hear my cousin. I wasn't far enough down the pipe, and he was like, "Go big," and I was like, psh, and I cut in, and I remember like. The minute the board left the pipe and like I didn't really have control to turn, but like then you don't really realize that you're horizontal when you leave a pipe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like you leave the pipe and then you come back down. But I'm like, you know, I ride Goofy. So when I came back down,
you also got that like going up, but that forward momentum's a little weird.
Yeah, you like just kind of weirdly float. But I came down regular and I hadn't been riding regular and I fucking just tumbled. I remember getting up and like trying to like cut back down. I got to the end of the pipe. And my cousin was like, "Okay, I think we're done for the day with going fucking crazy. You've eaten shit a couple times.
Do you want the bunny hill now, bud? Yes, please."
It was legit. I had a ton of fun learning it that way because it's basically we don't do this with kids nowadays. I don't think so. Here's the deep end of the pool. You're going to learn to swim. You know what I mean?
Kids are fucking soft nowadays.
It's not about soft. I think more or less like here's the thing. If I was a parent, I wouldn't have done what I did as a child because now knowing what medical costs, I don't want to have my kid break an arm and a leg. Like I don't have the I'm financially stable enough that if my kid broke a leg, I'd take him out back like a horse. We can always make another one.
I got great insurance. Let that little fucker learn. Okay. I think we talked about this on another pod where we were like, what was it? Thanksgiving. Where my little sister's like, Brad traumatized me. I was like, you don't know what fucking trauma is.
Yeah.
And like, but I mean, we're a little fucked up in the head, but like,
sure.
I feel like we're a lot more like socially adaptable than like a lot of the little shits that are running around. I just saw they remade the Harry Potter books.
Okay. I did see this, the Gen Z.
Oh, the boy who wasn't unalived.
Yeah.
Like, but the whole series is rewritten, so it doesn't have any triggering words in it. What in the fuck is going on?
Hold on. Is that a joke or is that real? Because I saw the same thing and I wasn't sure whether or not it was like, okay, because
I might have got clickbaited or it might have just got memed.
Exactly. Because
I don't know.
I did see that they had rewritten the Bible for Gen Z. Have you seen that? They did like a Genesis verse or something that was like written in like the words of like Gen Z or whatever. And it was
cap for real.
Exactly. Like, yeah. So like there's that, which was funny. But then I was like, I saw the thing with the Harry Potter thing and I was like, dude, is this real life or not? Because if it's just parody, that's funny. But if it's not parody, then like we've gone in a direction I don't think I can follow.
I think it's a fucking.
Is it a parody? Because I'm okay if it is. I'm okay if it is because I love poking at Gen Z as hard as possible.
Okay, there's a GitHub where you can download it.
Okay,
so somebody has done the work to do the whole book, but it's not like something you can actively buy.
Okay,
man. Now I feel like my dad. I'm like I come home. He's like, "Did you hear?" Like some clickbait fucking got him.
Yeah.
Did you hear? Like, did you read it? No.
It's
fucking, but you know what Nancy Pelosi does.
Very political. That's talking to my father right now too. Anytime like
here Iran is making gay cakes for us.
Oh my God. My father is the type of dude that he knows that I've never been like overly politically charged. I've always been on the side of like making fun of political sides of things. Like, I don't swing either way, and I don't care what anybody thinks. And we're not turning this podcast into political by any means, but yet.
Drop down in the comments if you know what side I'm on. Liberal cuck.
But like my
fucking what was it?
Sean,
bedazzled
your
perforator. I was like, God damn, Sean just fucking zinged me.
But talking to my dad now, whenever like political stuff comes in, I'm like, Dad, just drop it. It's fine. And he just like, well, you just don't understand. It's like I don't care. It's not that. And he'll just get it. So
Dad becomes Randy Marsh when he talks politics. He's a giant Korean.
Holy shit.
You don't get it. They think they're germs.
Yes, exactly right. So I just throw all the fucking crazy conspiracy shit at him. It's like the earth isn't round. Fucking lizard people control the media.
Did you see China went to orbit?
Did they?
Yeah.
I mean, I know that they were trying to get back to the
video
moon.
Of their first spacewalk. I don't think China's ever made it to the moon.
No, I know that they're trying. That's like a huge thing they've been trying to do. Is
they released video of their first spacewalk, and guess what?
How was it?
Whether it be the angle of their camera or whether it be what's real, the internet has alarmingly pointed out that there is no curve. It's a flat horizon, and every fucking comment, I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. I live for shit like this. I don't care if Earth's flat. I don't care if Earth's round.
I care
love
the rabble.
that you guys fucking care.
That's exactly right. Exactly right.
Oh man.
I think the idea of flat Earth is super fucking fun. I think it's super. I think that's the people who won't believe in flat Earth are the
same. Where are we, like fucking Asgard? We just got like
yeah. There's just or like part of flat Earth is like what we know and what we see is only a portion of it. Like we've never actually seen the full scope. Like if you look at like the flat Earth map, there's like us, then the ring of ice, and then there's actual things on the outside. So like there's this idea that maybe quite possibly we're just not shown the rest of the world. We like our brains cannot comprehend it, and so therefore NASA and the media like keeps it all nice and neat. Whatever, cool, fine. I like that conspiracy. I think it's fun because how cool would it be? How cool would it be is if there is another like world outside of like the world that we're shown, and it's just all kept in secret because of fucking a land of dragons and giants and shit like that. I'd be all about it, dude. I'd be all about it.
We're all sitting here fucking picking sides. We're like, who are you voting for? I never do this. I blah blah blah. Meanwhile, we're just taking for granted that Donald J. Trump just went and fought giants. He led an army with the rest of the world's leaders defending against it, and then we all bitched and we're like, don't vote for Joe, but we put Joe in, and while they put on a face because they knew that we had to keep it together, they shook hands and said, it's your watch now. And now Joe Biden, that's why he's so fucking tired. That's why presidents age so fast, because they're fighting against giants and dragons.
Yeah. Or maybe there's a fucking supercomputer at the Oval Office, or like some type of like ancient machine that they have to sit in constantly to help like contribute to fighting and keeping the world peace. And that's what drains their life
with ancient machines, bro. Don't even start me on what the pyramids are lined up for. And there's don't do it. Don't do it.
Did you see that thing where it's like I think we might have talked about it before or whatever, but remember how like a few months back in Florida there was like a bunch of people in a mall that like saw that there was like this weird like anomaly happen, and there's like people that were coming through like teleporters and shit like that, and they were like in weird spite, and then they just kind of disappeared real quickly, like they like popped in and popped out, and there's this huge fucking thing, and it was weird because it was multiple different accounts of all these people in this mall being like, yeah, it was fucking weird. It was like an electrical storm, and then like these weird portals opened up, and like people started coming through, and then they just left real quickly, and it was fucking like, and it was multiple different accounts, so it wasn't like a bunch of people got together. It was like, let's make this hoax happen. It was just
okay. Yeah, but okay. In every like scientific like experiment,
sure,
you want a control group, and then you want like your subject. Right now, you're just talking about Florida people,
right?
It's very possible they all just drank the same water that day, and they're like,
right. The coolest thing that someone was able to do, a bunch of people that were like being like conspiracy theorists or whatever, they took the coordinates of the mall, and they basically just took the longitude and latitudes and reversed them, and it wound up exactly where the pyramid in fucking Antarctica is supposed to be. And so someone was like, it's possible someone just popped in the wrong coordinates, and they just wound up in the mall in fucking Florida, and they're like, oops, wrong place, and just backed out.
I like that.
That's fucking cool, right? Like, that's cool. Like, how fucking perfectly coincidental is that? Oh no, yeah, a bunch of weird people saw a teleport, and you reverse the
an equivalent of like walking in on somebody in the bathroom. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's exactly right. Like, you fucking said these coordinates. I'm sorry, Joe's fucking, he's been out drinking and sucking titties all night. He wasn't prepared for putting the correct coordinates in. I think that's what's so cool about conspiracy theories, is that they can be fun when they control your life a little bit, and you got fucking papers on the wall and strings, and you're out, crazy man in the streets being like, the lizard people are taking your skin. Okay, that's bring it back a little bit.
I dig that.
Yeah,
just like I like I don't know about ghost stories are kind of overplayed, but like I have been like searching desperately for a podcast about like cryptids, you know,
yeah,
like something like that, like where it's like okay, like these started like with like this like Native American tribe, and they were said to do this, and then they kind of give you like some backstory, and then like bring you forward. And I was asking a buddy because he's like deep into like Bigfoot and stuff. Like I think he Ryan, if you're out there, I think you really believe this shit. And and like he goes on trips with his friends out into the woods.
See, that's
but they just drink a lot of beer though.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's to get away from the wives or if they really believe it. Like, there's like I'm lost in the satire.
Sure.
But I asked him, and he's all, "You got to try this." But it was just like I felt an eerie presence in the room, and a candle went out, like stuff like that. Like I want something like, give me some stories, give me some history with it.
It's always been really tough for me on certain occasions because like I don't necessarily believe in ghosts and shit like that, but I've also had my own experiences that have been weird enough to be like I can't fucking put a finger on it. So my buddy Gene at this house in Pollock, and me and Chad and Gene used to hang out all the time. This is back when I worked at like GameStop. We went to school together. We knew each other. It was, you know, whatever, no big deal. And Gene's house up in Pollock, it was like a big ass like house, pretty big house, you know, standard Pollock house. Everything's wood and ancient fucking, you know, whatever. And then there was a downstairs area. So there was like the kitchen and then a door, and it went downstairs to what was the basement. And that's where Gene's room was. He had his bed set up. He had a couple beanbag chairs, his computer, and then he had his drum set or whatever. And so we'd hang out down there or whatever. So one day we were fucking at Gene's house. And this is the weirdest point. This is the weirdest point because I can't fucking figure it out. I can just never really like put my finger on what the fuck happened. So when we were there, we were home by ourselves. So it was me, him, and Gene, or Chad, and we're hanging out, blah, blah, blah. And the whole night, I just kept hearing fucking doors and shit opening and closing downstairs. And I was like, is your parents home? Is it cool if we're here? And he's like, no, it's not our parent. It's not my parents. And he was just like, whatever, blew it off. And I was like, okay, cool. And then at one point, something I heard a drawer open upstairs in the kitchen. I heard like knives and shit rattle, and then the drawer close. And I was like, are you sure no one's here, dude? Like, and this is back in the time when like we're coming out of high school, you know, we've been partying pretty fucking hard. I'm like already like, I'm an edgy person.
Are already like right on the edge.
Not only that, but I'm already on an edgy kid of being like, I'm not into being like in a weird spot. Oh, is that what we're doing? I don't know if I can.
I was trying, and then tell me more.
So he's like, no, he's like, okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. The house is haunted. And I was like, all right, I'm fucking done with this conversation. And he goes, no, seriously, he called it something like Dave or some shit like that. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, we
ghost Dave.
Yeah. He's like, we don't know. It's just whatever we call it. It's just a weird thing that's always happened in the house. It's just there's shit that moves and things get fucking thrown around. He's usually pretty chill. Doesn't fuck with people. It's all good. And I'm like, we're 18 plus at this point. So it's not like kids trying to tell ghost stories. It's like at the point where we're like starting to become adults. And I'm like, what in the fuck are you talking about? He's like, it's just the way that it is. Just, it'll be fine. It'll be chill. Don't acknowledge it. Doesn't fuck with you. Whatever. So we end up hanging out all night. We're bullshitting. Me and Chad end up passing out on his bed. And I had my shoes on. I was at the edge of the bed. And it was late at night. It's like maybe 3 a.m. I'm passed out. And I keep getting like my legs tugged. And I thought it was Chad. And I was like, knock it off, dude. And I woke up and my shoes popped off my feet. And I was like, whoa, what the fuck? And I like, as I sat up, I heard, oh, dude, like fucking goosebumps just telling the story. I heard up the stairs, and then the door closed. And I was like, and I went upstairs. Still, there's nobody in the house. His parents were gone. It was nobody. Look, I got fucking goosebumps. I can't tell you that I can never put my finger on exactly what it was, but it was creepy enough that I couldn't answer that. And so I told Gene in the morning. He's like, yeah, he's usually pretty chill about making sure people get tucked in and like they're comfortable and stuff. And I'm like, that was the last time I ever went to Gene's house. I was like, I'm not going to your house, dude. I don't know, and I don't get it. I'm not playing that game. And it's just from this day forward, I always remember that. So whenever people are like, I don't believe in ghosts, it's like, I don't either. but I had an experience enough that's like weird that I can't put to it. I remember because I was like, maybe I was trying to kick my shoes off in my sleep. Maybe it was all this thing. Maybe it was a whole scenario that like played out in my head. And maybe I was just already creeped out by that scenario of him telling me that fucking creepy thing. It's an old house. Creaks, things like that happen in old houses. You know what I mean? But it was just so fucking weird the whole time. I was just like, dude, I'm not testing the theory out again. Like, I'm good. Like, I'm not going back to your house. It's weird, dude. It's weird. I can't explain it.
Go back over, fucking putting duct tape across your mouth. What are you doing? I'm not finding out if Dave's hoarding tonight.
That was a Scary Movie too.
Scary, dude.
She gave me crabs.
Oh man.
Yeah. I mean, and so like when people tell me ghost stories, I'm like, whatever. So we just started watching like a bunch of like ghost shows because there was a bunch of them that used to be on the air, like on the Sci-Fi Channel or whatever.
There still is.
I know. So it's gotten really weird, and there's a lot of like weird.
It's almost like if clickbait was a show now, though.
Thank you.
There's a lot less fun behind it.
Yeah, they have like these talk box things that just randomly spit out words, and the guys are like, "Oh my god, he said squirrel! Like there was a squirrel in the yard the other day."
Yeah,
you know, and shit like that. There was a show called Ghost Hunters back in the day.
Yeah,
do you remember that?
That's the one that came to the Harry house.
Yeah. So they were super cool because they were just they weren't trying to prove ghosts, they were trying to disprove it. They were like a couple guys that like work for Roto-Rooter or whatever, and their whole thing that they came to do was like, if it's real, it's real, but if not, we're gonna debunk it and prove that there's no such things as ghosts in your house and you're safe to fucking continue living. And some of their stuff that they had caught, like, you know, between their EVPs and all the extra stuff, was like, whatever. But there was a couple episodes where they're just like, you know, like you see like someone like lean over a rail and look at someone and then dip out. And it was like, and they were freaked out by it because they were just like, they caught it from different angles and shit. And it's enough that it's like video evidence of something weird happening. And it's like, yeah, I could see that being a possibility.
Yeah. See, nowadays, you just can't take anything. Especially the magic's gone. There was like a little like the Twilight years were like probably before like Paranormal Activity, you know, when like even though it was probably special effects, it was so like unseen that it could get like the gimmick kind of worked on you. Nowadays it's like it could be completely real. I'd be like fake.
Yeah.
Fake. I could be fake. Like,
yeah.
Oh, I know you got an invisible balloon that's made of frozen helium. You're just putting it in my mouth right now. It could be completely real. And Dave's going to town on me, and I'd still call it fake.
And that's the thing about it too. I think that's another conspiracy in itself, right? Is that like they've continued pushing all the craziness and letting it out there, so you like become desensitized. You could be desensitized by it. So when that was the whole thing, when they were like, you know, when things were going fucking crazy and the government was like, there's aliens, they're real. Like that whole thing when they like released a bunch of, hey, aliens are real. Like everybody's like, yeah, we don't give a shit. We're literally starving on the streets. And like, no, but aliens, like we don't care. You know what I mean? Maybe that's the whole point.
But that's another conspiracy theory, that aliens might just be the government, all the governments working together because they all want to make one world superpower. And they know that the only thing that will unite us all and allow for it to just be one global entity would be a threat from outer space. Yeah.
And that's all. There's this whole written thing that
fucking goosebumps.
There's this whole written thing that like at some point, like they're trying to get AI generation to a certain degree and like holograms and drones working in a way that like we can do projections and like so they can project like massive aliens.
We're already almost there, dude.
That's why like they've been testing like laser weapons. That's why Hawaii got blown up. That's why like fucking what was it, Haiti?
I'm sorry, the Oakland A's can afford to have a Star Wars drone show. You don't think that they already have fucking
exactly? So how fucking dope would it be if
couldn't even pay Matt Olson to stay
in the sky? You just see a fucking giant ship come in and a laser beam from space burns the thing down, and now we have an enemy that unites us all to work together. But the way we do it is we all have to put fucking chips in our brains. And
can you imagine though? Remember 9/11 happened? How many like American flags were just everywhere? Everybody's proud to be fake aliens. democracy. Like fucking, we just fucking.
But you have to give someone to fight against, and that's what ended up happening. We went to Iraq and fought against people that weren't even fucking blowing up the trade centers. You know what I mean? It's like, Americans are a little crazy. You got to give them something real to fight.
Yeah. Osama bin Laden did it. Where is he? He's in Afghanistan. Let's go to Iraq first. They got plenty of oil to fund this. Hey-oh.
Oh, hey,
now we got liberal cucks.
We got Osama, by the way. What do you mean we got Osama? Yeah. Just a couple guys went in and tapped him in the head. We're all good. We don't have to worry about that.
We didn't take any pictures though.
No,
we threw his body in the ocean.
We're good. Everything's good. Don't even worry about it. Oh God.
That one will make you think too. Yeah. Did we kill Osama?
I mean, there's enough crazy stuff going on. Like,
I think the only guy left from like the team that did it is what's his face, McHuya, whatever his name is on Instagram. And I don't think he's been sober since.
No.
He's and that's all he's talked about.
Yeah. And like whether or not it's true or not, there's something behind those eyes. You just kind of watch him and you're like, you are still classified.
Kind of like when Buzz Aldrin punched that. Like when he was like fucking 70 years old, and the guy's like, the moon landing's fake, and he just like that's all I got, motherfucker.
And then he goes to Antarctica, has a heart attack, and immediately tweets like, "There's shit here we just don't know about." Like, Buzz, what are you talking about, man? Fuck, man. I don't trust anything anymore, though. Like you said, I don't know what's real. I don't know what's real. It's not real. That's why I worry about myself. I just make sure my bills are paid. I got a roof over my head. I got a belly full of food. Doesn't even need to be warm food. As long as it's food, I just fucking, I'm gonna float under the radar.
Warm food's overrated.
I am a preferred cold food guy.
Yeah.
Preferred cold food. Like, I don't mind hot food. Like, there are foods that you just can't eat cold.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's just, like, realistically, like, I will never eat a cold, like, I won't go out of my way to eat a cold hamburger. Like, I don't mind them.
Yeah.
But, like, you get, like, a McDonald's burger, like a Burger King burger, you're not going to wait for that to get cold before you eat it.
A nice medium rare refrigerated filet. Oh, God, give you that.
Dude, I will get pizza, and then I'll just put it in the fridge.
No, pizza's way better.
Pizza's way better cold.
Yeah. Fresh, couldn't give a shit.
Couldn't give a shit.
I'll even let it sit on the counter for 3 hours, then I'll eat it.
Exactly.
I feel like that's even better.
It's the perfect, when everything's congealed back to like a solid form, and like it's not like it's falling apart. You can pull a piece out and it kind of like holds its shape. Oh, dude, that is the perfect pizza.
That's what I'm saying, dude. But every time we get pizza at your house, it's like you got to get in there before Cliff. It's like it's just a thing.
Yeah, Cliff or Will. And then
is this free? He just got a Ziploc bag. This is called saving, motherfuckers.
Financial. Good financial. Oh man. I'm going up to see Mom on Monday.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think I'm going to message her tomorrow and see how she's feeling before I go out there to go take a look. So when this goes out, I'll be probably in Outingdale taking a look at the house. It's all single floor, right? What size is the house? I mean,
like 2,400 square feet. It's like single floor. The living room goes down like 2 steps.
That's not big down.
It's like one of those.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll figure out what she wants to do, how she wants to do it, and how much money she wants to spend, and then we'll just make something work that's a reasonable fucking price. And I'll leave you a present somewhere. I'll draw like a pentagram on the floor underneath your guys' bed in the main bedroom, and then lay the floor
down. Just Dave's name in the middle of it. I brought Dave over from Chad's house.
When I had Diablo on my team or whatever, this guy Manuel, love him to death, greatest fucking dude.
Okay, so his name isn't really Diablo.
Nah, it's Manuel.
But the black guy's name really is Kunta.
It really is Kunta, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was just like 2 racist names that you were like, this is just what we call them.
Yeah, no. When Kunta first told me his name, I was like, he's like, no, my parents really liked Roots. I was like, I can't tell if you're joking or you're serious. I'm just going to go with it.
Can I say it though?
Yes. My boss would come.
My hard R at the end.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, and I always came down and said, I was like, that's a really that's like really. And he's just like, it's just my name, man. My parents loved the movie. It was just how it is. And my name is Kunta. Cool. Not gonna can't hate on that. Can't change what is, But Diablo, on the other hand, he called himself Diablo. Fucking 5 foot nothing, little shorty fat Mexican. Loved the guy to death. But so what's your name? One day he's like, Diablo. Okay. He would, when he was doing drywall, he would always, because we always had like paint and stuff, like the black paint for tub resurfacing or like countertop resurfacing. He always had it with us. And we do drywall and stuff for bathrooms, and we refinish the bathrooms and then do the tubs and everything. And one day I came in and we had to pull the wall down for something. There was a pipe that was fucked up behind the wall, so I pulled the wall down and I pulled it off. And I'm looking at the back of the drywall, and it's got all this fucking like writing and stuff on it in Spanish and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, because I cut it out in sections, I couldn't really tell. It's like I pull it out and like I put it together, like I pieced it together like an archaeological puzzle, and I'm standing back and looking at it.
Fucking Indiana Jones.
Santanas. And like this whole fucking thing, like I am the devil leaving you, da 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 da. And I'm like, what in the fuck is this? And he's like, yeah, I've been putting those on walls. I'm like, why? He's like, I don't know. Fuck with people that ever pull it down. It's like, you're such a moron.
I kind of love that.
Yeah. I was like, you fucking idiot. So I caught him one day. I came in and he's like writing and drawing on it. I was like, all right, that's $5 out of your paycheck. What do you mean? I was like, you're using the material I bought to fucking write this cryptic ass satanic message on the back of a drywall. And you don't even believe it. Like I was like, yeah. If you're actually sticking like chicken bones and shit behind a wall and you're cursing people that you're throwing this up with, go. I'll let you have it. That's yours. I don't live there. I was like, but you're not even doing it. You think it's funny, so I'm gonna charge you $5 for the material you wasting.
That's fucking great.
Yeah. What a fucking goober, man.
Get some conviction and we'll talk later.
I mean, there's been enough stuff behind the wall that we've pulled down that we've looked at stuff and been like, what in the fuck? Like I pulled the wall down one day and there was like a full like McDonald's lunch that someone had like finished and then just like and then put a wall up. You know what I mean? So I was like,
not my problem. It'll be fucking 30 years before somebody gets to this.
It's basically what it was. 30 years later, I had to redo the electrical, pulled it down, and was like, what the fuck? It's like, and you knew it was old too, because like all the wrappers and like the stuff that was on it just looked, it still had like the whole crew, like a Hamburglar and Grimace and everything on it. It was like, what in the fuck am I looking at? It's wild, but it's wild to me what people will fucking just hide. But then at the same point in time, like, hopefully you never got one of me and Sean's apartments. So there's enough stuff we hid behind the walls too. Like in rush moments, like you call it Mickey Mouse in it, right? So like that's the whole, whenever like all the Hispanics, Mexicans I work with, whenever you do something goofy or you like kind of like you're rushing and you kind of cut corners, it's called Mickey Mouse in it. And we're just like, why do you call it Mickey Mouse? Because you're like, just it's like, oh, okay. But there's been a couple apartments we've been like, dude, we are rushed, get this fucking thing done. And then it's just like, just duct taping shit closed and like stuffing in the wall. Like, not our fucking problem. One day, God, what was it? Someone was putting something back in a bathroom. I don't remember what it was, but they had a broken toilet and they cut out the thing and it was like a sewer line and everything that was all fucked up. And we were working there and Robert, came in and take a look and was like, hey man, we got to drop a new ABS pipe in this and da-da-da-da. And like, we'll have to reframe it after it's done. And the plumber was there and he's like, I can throw this whole thing up. But when you do like sewage line like that in apartment complexes, you kind of need to pull code for. So Robert just looked at all of us and he was like, no one saw a fucking thing here. No one saw a thing, Robert. We're good. He's like, just fucking fix it and put it back and don't say a word about it. It's all right. Your money. As long as I'm getting paid, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. So.
What
What you been playing, big boy?
I haven't actually been playing a lot. I'll tell you what I'll tell you what I have been playing.
Tell me.
Power washing simulator.
Fuck out of here.
What have you been playing?
Nothing.
Yeah. Okay.
I tried Farming Simulator.
Yeah, I know you did.
Talk about the most boring game I've ever played in my life.
That's the point. It's supposed to be boring. It's supposed to be slow.
But
it's supposed.
I started hiring my my little AI, and he's like, "Oh no, I'm on the tractor. Oh no, I'm on the tractor." I'm like, "Okay, sick." And then I don't know where to fucking put my grain and shit, and it's just annoying. And the cars, you can't even get run over by the cars, and like it's just
you're playing it in the sense that you're trying to do this like some slide canceling bullshit. Like you're just supposed to. It's supposed to be something you know how like our last generation used to like get crossword puzzles, like word searches, Sudoku.
I dig that though.
Yeah, I mean I love Sudoku. I'll still play it to this day. But that's that concept of winding down. When if you play a game that's supposed to be winding down, you're not supposed to do it long term. It's not supposed to be like competitive.
So there's like Sudoku, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're going through things, you're filling out like the numbers and stuff, and crosswords. Oh, I'll do my words. Farming Simulator is the equivalent of like you just open a book and there's just 2 dots, and you're like, oh, all right, I connected those 2. Next page is just the same thing. Oh.
I don't know about that.
Just doing that.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, no. Fucking smooth brain.
So you probably did the easy like level where you like it's like the tutorial stuff where it's easy. So the part of the job is so you till the or like you get the grain,
you harvest, you till, you seed,
and then after that's all done, that's the loop. That's what you're supposed to do. After you till, then you seed, then you go through the whole process. And so then what you do in between waiting for your own farm to get done is you take up jobs from other farmers who will ask you to do specific things that you learned in that tutorial. We need you to till the field. We need you to like gain these crops. We need you to like plow the stuff. We need you to fertilize with stuff on top of the fields and things like that. And then you buy your equipment based on what the needs are, and then you go out and do it. It's relaxing. It's mellow. You make money doing it that way, waiting for your crops to come in and then do your harvest. It's playing fucking Stardew Valley or fucking, I don't know. I have to imagine it's enshrouded with the guys and their fucking flax.
No, flax grows quick. Plus it's fun because like Aaron's just like, I need flax, and like Will's like, did you not look at the field I've planted you? It's like it's borderline romantic.
Yeah, it is.
I need this, and like I've spent 14 straight days planting this field.
That's why I felt bad going in and playing in their world because they had this bromance going on inside this. Like I came in, it was like on top of like a fucking.
I need blue flowers, and he's like, let me show you. And they glide off into the woods together.
Yeah, it's like this huge.
You feel like you're third wheeling.
Yeah, it's this huge world they built for each other. It's fucking Inception. You know what I mean?
I can show you the world.
And it's like you come into this like hilltop monastery, and there's like flax field everywhere. And he comes home. I'm home, beautiful, and like drops all the gear that they got from there. He's like, oh wow, and it's like I built you a fucking home, and I have a meal for you. It's like, oh,
man,
this is
fucking
yeah, dude. I was just like, I came in and like kind of weepy. I was like, oh my god, I want this. Like,
I know. And then they just give you the scraps. Hey, Aaron didn't want any of this. Do you want some, Brad?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I guess I'll take a fucked up shield.
Yeah. I found the good chest. I was like, you guys care if I take any of this shit? I played it one day and I still have it on me. I felt bad. I was like, I should probably log on and fucking drop this back off. I mean, they were like, yeah, it's not stuff we're wearing. We're wearing the stuff we want.
Yeah, we got the nice things that we made for each other.
It's a huge mural on the wall. It's a David and God, mural. 50 bars?
Shout out to 50 bars. Guess who makes these?
Who? 50 Cent.
Nope. But I thought it was. I was like, hell yeah. Fuck with vitamin water. Let's go 50. It came and it's all the only vape that is made in the USA. All 50 states, brother. Like it just came like super patriotic stuff. I was like, oh, that kind of 50 bar. Okay.
So I got this one. A morph bar. Dopest thing about it, it's got like a touchscreen on it. It's like an old school like fucking touchscreen. You can change the wattage on it.
That's nice.
Yeah. So like that's a huge difference in these. We've now moved away from
just crank them all the way up
and done.
Nailed that one. Oh, it hits.
I do miss the old school vaping days when you had to like twist your own coils and like pull cotton and stuff, and like there's
it's a fucked up amp on this. You're done exhaling. You just
the old school days where you had the tubes that had the fire on the bottom. Do you remember the day we were playing softball and I reached into my bag and I opened up my bag and it was just smoke coming out of it? And I was like, the fuck? And
has it been firing?
So, yeah, it'd been just firing constantly. The whole thing had just lit up. I was like, holy shit, this is dangerous.
Just a straight hit to an 18650 battery.
Man, I miss those days. They were so cool back then. And like, I actually saw a guy, I went into a smoke shop and he was actually wrapping his own. And I was like, dude, I haven't seen that in fucking years. And he's like, yeah, it's the only way I know how to smoke it. I was like, it's becoming that, like, you know how you see guys like packing a pipe? Sean, you know? The days of packing a pipe and rolling your own cigarettes is like trying to roll your own fucking cotton.
That's the fuck. Instead of like seeing like the salty old colonel on the battlefield, like lighting a pipe, it's just one dude with an M4 that's all hitting that bottom button. Like, oh fuck, yeah, that guy hits.
And you know it's old too, because he's like he's already like in between battles at nighttime when people are fucking trying to sleep, he's just wrapping coils like
candlelight.
just twisted coils, twisting,
go back and forth between a coil and like a perfectly made sniper round, like one grain at a time, then back to his coil, hits it, weighs it out. That is some Gen Z shit.
That's some Gen Z shit.
Oh my god.
Fuck Christ. That's
Gen Z Saving Private Ryan or Fury or some shit like that. So fucking dumb.
Every scene that's a cigarette is just a dude just with a big ass cloud making jellyfishes and shit. Yeah. Coming to the war room, just it's bubble gum.
Oh, I fucking hate this world.
Oh fuck. Oh. Oh my god. Feels bad. Oh Jesus. Have you played any more Gray Zone?
Not since we played. So last time I got on is when I just dropped you some guns and then got off. And then the last time I played before that, you had just gotten off. I had done 2 missions, and he gave me like the super sick like the 1 MOA rifle that you get for like a reward. And I was like, oh fuck yeah! I went. I shot exactly 2 people with 2 bullets. Died.
Yeah.
Like from like absolutely nowhere. I was like, no way. I was like, well, I was pretty far away. I land and I crawl all the way to my body, and as soon as I see my body, instantly dead again. Lost all my shit, and I was like, I fucking hate this game. I'm done. I'm done.
I've been popping on every now and then to like go and try and run a mission. I still have to like kill a bunch of people in Bandpot. It's gotten to the point now where the people that have been playing are like,
patch coming.
Big patch is coming, and so like I'm kind of been like kind of patient with it and fucking around. I'm up at Sawmill. Sawmill's a whole thing.
Yeah.
There is just something so off about the AI that makes whatever this patch is. I hope it's very AI focused, because I think the game is good.
Supposed to address like 200 separate things.
Yeah, I know, and there's a lot of things that's like either the AI is too cracked, which they are. Like when you're getting beamed like fucking 300 meters out, you know what I mean? That's fucking rough. But not only that, but it's also like a combination of like wearing armor just doesn't feel like it really matters. I know it does, but it's so hit and miss for what actually affects it. Like sometimes I'll get tapped and it's like insta dead. Me and this dude ran through Fort Nerith Like me and him, I just met him out in the field. I was just there looking. He was like, "Hey man, I got some missions out here. Like, are you doing something?" I was like, "Honestly, I'm just looking for it." This is back when, remember I was telling you, I was looking for that entrance to Fort Nerith, and you were like, "Yeah, it's in YBL." Oh fuck. Well, I was just out there and then farming ammo because you can get the AP rounds off those guys out there. So me and this guy just ended up hanging out for a little bit and running around. It was fucking super sick. And we just kept popping back and forth and we were just dying. We were trying to complete his mission and that base is fuck. There's a lot of people there. So it's like I'd die and then I'd run back, or then like he'd die and I'd wait for his body and he'd come back, or I'd die and be like, oh, and then in my spawn time, he would die and be like, dude, we fucking died. Let's go get our shit. And dude naked runs through the fort to go and try and collect our shit. It was cool. And like, we were just picking up like whatever rounds we could while we just tried to get to our body. And it was a lot of fun. But it was just so inconsistent with our lives and deaths that it just felt like I was like, I need to, like, I had fun at the very beginning and I'm not having fun, but I definitely think I need to, this is one of those let it cook.
You're starting to hit that wall where it's like, okay, like losing gear isn't fun anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a big deal when like basically you're all running just like whatever the AI is and you're just picking up AKs off the ground and shit.
Yeah. And I definitely think that that's another thing too. I was looking, I was like the exchange rate for what you pick up versus what you actually earn.
It's rough.
It's rough. It's really rough. Like to the point where
it's like an eighth.
Yeah, if that, you know. And so remember I was telling you it was like 400 for the upper for those QAs. Like then I went in and tried to sell them, they were down to like 300. And I was like, okay, somebody just probably patched that because they were seeing the influx in income. It's still 300. So like you just don't make as much money, but you still make enough. And it's still the same thing. It's a 4 slot that goes in a bag and sells for 300. So you do a couple runs and you're making, you know, a couple grand per run. But when like building a full kit is like 10 and there's no other way to have an income in the game, you know what I mean? Like it's just like,
it's that or missions and you end up getting just fucking stuck.
Selling 60 rounds back to the trader, it's like $1 a round, if not less than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you made
rough.
it's like 50 cents a round or some shit like that. And it's like, ugh, this feels bad.
And then for 600, it's $1,000.
Exactly. And so
that's why you were like, there's a thing where you can unload your mags, you come back in the what?
If anybody is playing this right now, I found a thing and I don't know if anybody else has found it or if it's been really spoken about. So you heard it here first. But whatever mags you have filled in your inventory or on your person, you can unload all of your mags, log out of the game and log back in, and all the mags will be filled back up again. So you basically, and so any mag that you pick up, like, so if you kill an enemy, kill an NPC, and they have AP rounds inside those mags, I saved those mags. I don't use them, right? So say they go for my M4 or whatever, like I don't use that mag I picked up. That mag is just put in a backpack somewhere because I know that mag will always have AP rounds in it. So every time I log into the game, I just unload all those mags. And if I ever log out of the game and log back in, those mags are filled up. When I get to the point where I was blasting through ammo and I was like completely empty, I just did 2 runs of just like logging out, logging back in, logging out, logging back in. And because I have a full backpack of those AP rounds. So I just like, I mean, that's, I don't know, it's 30 rounds per mag. There's what, 8 mags in a backpack that I have stashed up. So whatever that equals out, you know what I mean? Like do that a couple rounds and you save yourself a fuck ton of money.
And that's a Yap exclusive.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's cheap. Obviously it'll be patched. I mean, I'm most likely I'm seeing that patch coming in pretty soon, but
yeah,
I just got to the point where I was like, I'm sick of buying ammo. I'm sick of buying it. I'm fucking wasting rounds when I'm firing at people. Like there's sometimes I'll just single tap dudes and they go down. And then there's sometimes I'm just fucking plinking for like a full mag and a half before someone drops to the ground.
I just keep thinking of the fucking vape. Fucking it's Terrence Howard. I seen some shit, man. Oh man.
Are we I just realized that
yeah. Say it.
I won't. So moving on. No. We have to wait for Fallout London, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we do.
Okay. 7 Days to Die has
a new patch fucked us.
7 Days to Die has a Fallout mod. It's an overhaul mod that like changes everything, makes it's very much 7 days, but it's all got Fallout characters. There's power armor, there's a bunch of other shit, and it's very Fallout. I kind of want to play it. I was like, because 1.0 is right around the corner. 7 Days to Die 1.0 should be sometime in June. So we're literally right here.
Ooh, does that mean all the mods go away too?
All the mods will have to be updated. So like people like Kane with his Darkness Falls mod, it is going to take him, if they've done any massive changes, because it's technically going from Alpha 21 to Alpha 22. That's their whole thing. But they're calling Alpha 22 1.0. They're just releasing it as 1.0 and just going forward with it. They want to move out of their beta phase. So all the mods that do exist will have to be updated for that. But they're not, I don't think that they're doing anything crazy with the system. Like they're not introducing a new system like how they did from 20 to 21, where there's like new skill trees and like the way they've done the magazines and stuff like that. I think all that's going through. I think they're just
new assets.
They're doing new assets, new armors, new like vehicles, new vehicle mods, stuff like that. They're adding some new things in, but they're not changing the overall system. So I have a feeling the mod community will be able to catch up fairly easy with this one. But in that time, the cool thing about what 7 Days to Die has also done is, if you wanted to, right now on Steam, you can go back and play previous versions of the game. They've had that available. So people that have made the mods and done things like that, like if they haven't ever updated it, like, but you really enjoyed like an overhaul mod, you could go back and re-download Alpha 18 and play an overhaul mod as it is without any problems.
Can you play the one where the stripper zombie has tits again?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah. We're fucking scrolling back, boys.
I mean, we can. That's like what, Alpha 17? That's rough. That's rough. Yeah. But I mean, if we just wanted to see the titties, we can do that.
Yeah.
That was a phase. Man, God, they've come a long way. I'm really excited for this. I saw the trailer they put out for the 1.0 or whatever, and it looks really good and like clean and crisp. And you don't know if it's been upscaled or not, because I've been playing mine fairly upscale, but I've actually downloaded a HD pack to make mine start to look a little bit better too. So I like to see what they do with this 1.0. Anyway, I was just thinking I kind of wanted to play Fallout. I've been watching 76 stuff again, like the multiplayer. Yeah. I was like, it would just be
I'm so bummed they did the next gen update.
I am,
because we were so close. We were like a week and a half away.
They were supposed to launch London 3 days before the HD update.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Bastards.
And they're just like, and like the guy said, I watched that video from the creator. He's like, look, a lot of the stuff, we reached out to other people to help us make this mod. So now we're at a point where we have to wait for them to have time in their schedule to fix their portion of the mod before we can release it. And it's like,
it's a huge undertaking.
I'm really glad that Fallout did that though, because there's no Fallout after the Fallout show came out. Fallout 5 is nowhere close by.
2027, 2026.
It's not close by.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's not close by. Especially after the weak ass release of Starfield. Was it Starfield? Starfinder? Starfield? Starfield just had a massive update too. And a bunch of people. But that's exactly right. A bunch of people are like, it's not that it's a bad patch. And it's actually like, is it worth playing? Yes, it's absolutely worth playing. Can you find anyone who wants to play it though?
Yeah.
That game is all but dead in the it was dead on arrival, and I just don't feel like it's gonna especially as a big name developer. Like, okay,
you know that kid that was like, man, all he ever wanted was to, like, for my cancer to let me live long enough to play Starfield, and they put like a note in for him. Can you imagine if that kid made it and he's like, why didn't I just die?
Yeah. That's exactly right. Exactly
right. That's how he dies.
Just starts.
There's one I waited for.
As he's playing it, he's just reaching over to pull the plug out of the wall.
Oh man,
and that's exactly right. It's like it's so bad. It's just so bad. It's not bad in the sense of like the game looks good. It's boring.
It's so
boring.
underwhelming on every front. It's like
it just lack the entire scope of the game. If they shrank it down to this and made it just like its own linear game or whatever, would have been fucking cool.
Yeah,
would have been cool. But they had to make it a Bethesda game, and it was like, this is not that's not it. Go back to the roots. You know how to do Elder Scrolls, you know how to do Fallout. Well, kinda. Fallout 76 was a massive blunder as well, but
come back.
It is. It's massively back. But it's all those little too late, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. For 76, yeah. Andre was still living in fucking Placerville when 76 came out, you know?
Was he?
I think so. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we used to...
No. That was
I was thinking of 3 or 4.
3 or 4, maybe.
3.
Because I was gonna say, no way. He was already in UFC by the time fucking 4 came out.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
76 was like 2018, 2019.
Yeah. No, it was probably that.
Fallout 4 was a disaster on launch too.
Especially if they all spoke German. Fucking.
I think it'd make the game more interesting.
That's what you think. You think it's all fun and fucking games until you don't know what anybody's fucking saying or what any anger is.
I have still yet to play a Fallout game for its story. I played Fallout 3 for its story on my 3rd playthrough. Like where you go to the wish granter and you basically like reset the machine and for your dad or whatever the hell it was, the water collector thing over in like DC.
So how did you play it?
Just fucking like an open world game.
You just fucked off in one direction, started killing shit.
I never opened up. I mean, I opened up my map to look for quests if I was on a quest or whatever, but like never went and followed a line. I just went wherever I went and just killed things, collected stuff, ran into random people that then had missions for me, and I went out and did the missions as normal.
Interesting.
And just went and explored. I ended up uncovering the entire map and doing a bunch of shit before I even finished the game. I also like in Fallout 4, I did the same thing. That's how I play Fallout games. That's how at least Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 just fucked off and just did a thing. Never followed main story quests, just took myself in a direction, and whatever I picked up, I just did. So by the time I went and back to the synth's main base or whatever the hell it was, and like found your son who was like, you know, super old or whatever, like the main story quest of it, I had already done everything else in the game at that point. Like I was so overpowered by the point I went in there, like the final boss fight or whatever. I was like 2-tapping things. I was like, okay, you know what I mean? Like there was just that whole concept of just, that's the idea about that behind the wasteland. Like it wasn't just like go and follow these things. Like, I mean, especially when you get to like Fallout 3, when you get to Megatown and you meet a bunch of people, and then it was like, hey, there's this really rich guy in this tower, and there was this conflict between the two of them. First thing I ever did was blow up Megaton and set off the fucking rocket. And it was like, you sit up in the penthouse suite and you watch fucking Megaton go up in the distance. I was like, oh, that was so fucking cool. And you know what I mean? But just what happened. I got there and I was like, that's an interesting story. I'll follow that. And just went about my path. The whole like getting out of the vault and then having this open world and having this main quest to follow just never really interested me. It was the same thing with 4. Once I got in, I met Nick Valentine and everything, and then there was a whole story quest with Nick. I just followed down that whole trail of just following the detective around, doing his shit and things like that.
You really know how to make me feel like I play video games the wrong way. Thanks, Trevor.
I don't do it intentionally.
It's like, you do the storyline, you fucking pussy. An open world. You've been in a vault this whole time. You're just going to just go to the waypoint. You don't want to look around. You don't want to fucking see if there's a Big Mac left.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
well, it's a perfect example for 4, because you come out of the vault, after you go back in, you come out of the vault, you make Cogsworth, you're back in your town, and then immediately the next stop you meet at the Red Rocket, you meet Dog Meat. And it was like one of those things where it was like, there's no reason for you to instantly follow. You didn't know anything. It was like, oh, go to Commonwealth, whatever the hell it was, and meet Preston. And then once you get out of Preston, he's like, okay, well, you want to get to this main city. So you get to the main city, and then you meet a bunch of characters there. And it was just like, there's no reason to follow the main story quest. If you're super interested in it, fine. But there was so many more interesting stories and people that you met. Like, you don't really realize that you, like, one of the girls, the reporter or whatever, when you first get into the city, when you first get there, the main city or whatever in Fallout 4, she's talking to a little girl, and you could just walk right past her because it just looks like an NPC having a conversation with a little girl. You never actually realize that that's another character that you end up with later down the road who you can have as a follower. And so, like, there's just all these interesting things that, like, just happen. You just kind of have to look and explore for it. But if you just follow that main storyline like a horse with blinders, man, you miss all the cool shit.
See, now I'm even more confused because I have no clue what reporter you're talking about. I feel like somehow
that girl in the red jacket
storyline, but I'm also not following anything at the same time.
Yeah, man. There's a whole.
I'm gonna dive back. I'm gonna dive back into Fallout 4.
I keep saying it. I tried. It's not that it's bad. I think it's just older. I think once I started dicking with mods, and that's also another thing too. Once you start going down the mod trade, that's like
Chlorophus, right?
Yeah, it's terrible. I just want to see fucking Thomas the Tank Engine take out a Deathclaw.
Oh, fucking shit!
All right, happy Monday, everyone.
Happy Monday.
Fuck the
love you, Mom.
No. We're gonna talk so much shit about you on Monday. I can't wait. It's my favorite thing going to see him.
She's so excited to see you too.
she
doesn't even call you Trevor. She goes, my other son.
That's all right. I messaged her. I was like, happy belated Mother's Day. I'm sorry. I heard you got the death lung. I was like, I hope you're feeling better. So my baby, hi.
I want a pie. I'll take it for you.
I'll come and see you on Monday. So, all right, guys, enjoy your week. We're the fuck out of here.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.